All right, let's dive on into this next one. So this one is a viewer submission that the only change I've made to start is the person that submitted this initially only had Jinx as a champion, so they were playing just a 3-champion build, and I assume part of the reason why they only had Jinx as a champion was because they probably started with something close to my Jinx Freljord deck, which was entreating to draw Jinx. But if you're giving up Entreat for Jinx, there's really not a real reason to not play another champion, I don't think, especially when this build already had a number of good Nightfall cards in. I think Diana slots in here very nicely. So one thing that I think that's kind of sweet here is Spacey Sketcher is a card that I've been impressed with in a lot of other decks. Hey, technically, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. And this card is technically a discard card, right? Like, discard a card to invoke a Celestial card that costs 3 or less. So the Jinx decks play cards like Jury Rig and Flame Chompers that really don't mind being discarded. You get their effect anyways. So these cards work well with Spacey Sketcher, similar to how they work well with something like Zonite Urchin. So we have like 6 good 1-drops that give us things that we don't mind discarding. Lunari Dustbringer, similarly, while Dusk Petal's a really good card for enabling Nightfall units, it's also just like an extra thing that you can discard to value to something else, which is really slick. So the core of this deck is just a good aggressive slant. So we've got things like Mystic Shot and Get Excited for a little bit of reach. We've got Jinx at the top end for when our hand gets empty, we can leverage her. One thing to maybe think about is we've got Lunari Priestess here in the 3-drop, which I think is, I've talked about this card being good because it can give you some staying power, but there could be consideration to playing, is it Crescent Moon is the card? No, that's not the one. Whatever the 3-drop Nightfall card is with Overwhelm. It's possible that this being slightly more aggressive is a better fit, but that's something to think about while we play some games to get started here. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes to start. Trundle Aesol, so ramp control of sorts. And we've got Spacey Sketcher into Jury Rig. So I think we're just going to keep all these cards and see how it goes. Alright, yeah, let's get aggressive, huh? Just like, look at this start. 4 power turn 1. The new set's been awesome, Blevins. The new set was a great reminder of it's really flipping hard to evaluate cards without context. Yep. Yeah, for people, if anybody's still hanging out from when we were doing Magic and you hadn't seen Runeterra before, you'll note the music changed when I changed boards. So which cosmetic board you play dictates what music you hear. So I think I start by attacking here, especially with this sad emote. I think there's a good chance we get avalanched here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attack for 6 before they can sweep my board. All right, didn't get avalanched. That's a good start.
Her flowers bring the moonlight with them.
It's another good aggressive card.
Greet the night. It reminds us there is always more to discover.
Told you. Elusive probably pushes a lot of damage, right?
And here's where I'd paint my constellation. Only a fool would enter battle unprepared. The sun rock got me good.
King of Trolls coming through!
So again, we're an aggro deck, they're a control deck, so we're just trying to get under them here. Alright, they're down to 3. 3's a really good number. It dies to Get Excited, and it dies to Jinx Rockets. So I get to go Jinx into Rummage here. Rummage was a great draw. They get to kill my Otter here.
Rules are made to be broken.
If this draws another Jinx or a Get Excited, we kill them.
I'll knock 'em dead. This is gonna be fun.
We're doing it!
Jinx gaining a 4th point of toughness here means she doesn't die to Ice Quake. No reason to play these right now. I'm not going to lose mana. That's unfortunate. Yep, gotta fade healing here, which is tough. They have a lot of cards that heal. Yep. That among them. We really needed them. I think we would have won this game if they hadn't killed Jinx or had that. We couldn't beat both.
They look angry.
Yeah, those are jargon for the same thing, Uncle Funkle.
History's forged anew. All must die.
So it says Overwhelm is going to get bigger, so it's going to smack us for a bunch. We'll chump block this at least. Yeah, highlights actually don't work when we're in sub mode. And usually I have sub mode off when we're in Runeterra. The Runeterra community's been very reasonable. Far fewer trolls.
One smack'll do.
Nine times out of 10, the trolls that we hit while streaming Runeterra are people that came over because they have me on their magic follow list.
Jinx stands for Jinx. Durr.
Durr. I love Jinx, chat. I love Jinx. She's great. She makes me feel things.
Blew them all up.
We blew them all up. Yeah, the whole League of Legends IP is stellar. Hey, thanks for lurking, handsome. Yeah, this hand's great again, right? We get to do the jury rig. Like, I feel like the jury rig space sketcher hands are just like always just like... It's like, please, please. Yeah, so the ladder on Runeterra is all best of one, which I actually think is fine. Runeterra doesn't have non-games like Magic has non-games. I'm actually playing in a small Runeterra tournament coming up, and their tournament mode is a multi-deck best of 3 mode, which is really interesting.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
It's close between Celestial and the Otter there, or the Messenger and the Otter. Hey, thanks for the 28 months, Hangman. Welcome back. So similar-ish to Hearthstone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the tournament will be streamed. I think it's in 2 weekends. All right, so they're Leona Orionsol. I think I want to add to my board before I attack her. So I think we're going to Duskbringer into Shadestalker here. They could play like a 2-1 out or something, but I think that's fine. A 1-2, this doesn't matter. I'm like happy to trade my 2-1 for this or like attack my 1-1 into it. What are the rules for the multi-deck tournament? So there's a couple different ways they've done it. And for the tournament that I'm playing in, you bring 3 decks, none of which can overlap regions. So your decks have to be 6 of the 8 regions. And the rounds are best of 3, where you ban 1 deck that the other person has brought. So the deck lists are heads up, and you get to see what they're playing, and then they have to win a game with each of their remaining 2 decks. Oh, that's true. You can technically bring mono region stuff. So I shouldn't play Jinx here because they could, I shouldn't play Jinx because they could, solo combat me, single combat me. So I think we just play another Shadestalker here.
You trespass on sacred lands, unbeliever.
You know not the meaning of secret.
They're at 12, and I've got 6 points to reach in my hand. Sure. All right, 17. I got 6 points to reach in my hand. The Legend of Runeterra subreddit has weekly tournaments with wild cards and gem prizes for grabs if anyone's interested. Oh, that's sweet to know. Does, I assume Riot provides that type of stuff for the community event? Am I playing Jinx pre-combat here? I think I am. Especially with the extra one in my hand. So when you play a champion out, the second copy of it in your hand turns into the champion spell. That's super punishing, huh?
Bask in the light's radiance. Face my shield.
And now the question is, if they block like this, am I spending a get excited on their champion? I think the answer is yes.
You cannot sway me.
Obviously, if they block this like this, the answer is no.
Was thinking more pew pew.
So they're at 11, but I've got 9 points of reach in my hand, potentially. And I can empty my hand this turn.
Then awaits out. Answer to me.
No blocks. Go to 11. We do always get a few people that comment on my speech pattern as we move on. It's okay. So the question here is, do I want to get excited to level Jinx? The downside is they could sun my Jinx. But I think that's probably fine. We put them to 5, then we can open attacks next turn. And I have 2 elusives. Correct, yeah. I want to... If we play one of these, I want to play the champion spell, because the champion spell version shuffles another Jinx into my deck. So if they have that 6 mana silence and deal 6 to something, they can kill Jinx here, which is sad, but not the end of the world.
Everyone goes boom!
And if they don't kill Jinx here, they're probably dead.
Now as one.
So do I feel like I'm supposed to start with this. It might also be right to open attacks. Nah, probably not. I think I start here.
Come, a new phase.
I don't think I'm supposed to shot first. I think that's wrong.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
So the problem, chat, is if I shot first, they could kill Jinx or hush Jinx in response. And if they hush Jinx, not getting a rocket this turn is a really big deal. So, Spacey's discard isn't optional. However, if you don't have a card in your hand, you don't have to worry about it. So this is a free forced block, right? She has quick attack. And then I'm going to Equinox silence their lifesteal thing before I pass the turn. So that way they can't open on attacks and gain life. I've already generated a missile for the turn, so she can't generate another missile, but we can wipe the lifesteal off of this. I was going to wipe the elusive off of this one, but they killed my board, so God bless. Should be dead. Even if they gain 5 here, we kill them. Because we do 3 plus 4. And they don't have enough to gain more than 5, I don't think. This build's been sick. I love Jinx, chat. She's my favorite. Diana's growing on me, though. Diana is definitely growing on me. They can gain 7 if they have the 5 mana gain 5 or the 2 mana gain 2. Good call. So, should be dead.
Everyone goes boom!
Don't leave.
The best source of card advantage, chat, is killing them with cards in their hand. This Mega Death Rocket is like a 7 for 1, because they're dead. Climbing on up the ladder. Do 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 do. Alright, Lulu Shed. So we got an aggro mirror here. You're 5 for 1 someone with a lightning bolt. Ugh, this hand is real awkward, huh? So I think we're definitely mulliganing these. I think Diana is good enough against other aggro decks that I want to keep her and hope to hit Enabler.
Demacia.
So I think I wait and I can get excited I can bank spell mana this turn up to 3. And then I can get excited, bin jury rig, kill this to enable Diana. And try to take a little bit more controlling role here. That does mean I take 5 here as opposed to 2, but I think that's worthwhile. Actually, I guess I wouldn't take anything if I get excited here. If they like Rangers resolve me, I'm gonna be really sad. I mean, this might be wrong. It might have been better. It might have been correct to just kill this on their turn. Everything worked out. It's a risk to reward thing, Blue Man. So like I would get to stabilize my life total a little bit, but I get like a bigger payoff here by enabling Diana.
No more lies. Face your heretic.
So like I traded like my life total for card advantage basically. Is what went down. I'm up to 5 mana here with 1 bank, so I can Mystic Shot to kill this, and then play Lanari Priestess with Invoke, which sounds good. Could also potentially just play this with Elusive and bank spell mana for the turn.
My shield is yours.
The mana banking is really awesome, Destruct. The best way I can describe it is Hearthstone fixed resource variance by having a linear resource system. Runeterra fixed tempo variance with spell mana. The fact that, like, if you don't play a spell in a turn, you're not just hosed is huge. I think I'm blocking here. So the awkward thing about my hand right now is these Mystic Shots are my only Nightfall enablers. So I think I attempt to just trade these here and then play a Nightfall unit, and then next turn I can Mystic Shot play another Nightfall unit. This does mean I lose my Diana here, but I think that's okay because I have Jinx rolled up. I think I'm just playing Lanari. I guess playing Lanari early could mean it could be hard to get my hand empty for Jinx down the line. I'll play Lanari. So, Lanari is one of the higher variance invoke cards. So there are like 20 different cards you can invoke from, and a lot of the cards that invoke give you like a range on what they can invoke, whereas this is just all of them. Usually they're a little more restricted. This one too is an invoke card that has the entire range, 22. Now, one of the devs did say you're more likely to get a cheaper invoke card than anything, which is nice. Obviously, sometimes you can double high roll, but they said the cheaper ones generate more frequently. Was something they shared. Yeah, the IP in this game is really well done. And every card basically has a full art that you could go in and look at in client. Ton of really gorgeous artwork. So, am I getting aggressive, or are we going a little bit bigger with Golden Sisters? Because this summons another 4/3. I think we're in a position where we want to go bigger.
Stars guide all travelers onward. Look within.
I don't really want to run. Actually, maybe I should attack my 2-1s in here. Yeah, this is wrong. I've got Mystic Shot, so I should have attacked with these. If they want to eat one of these with Lulu, that's a good exchange for me. Yeah, I agree with that disconnect stream. I think we are the control deck at the moment.
Spark and I will keep you safe.
Take this job, Samo.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
Super rewarded for having this as an elusive here, since they made Lulu. It's gonna give her quick attack, which is annoying. So these have the support mechanic, so the thing next to them is going to get bigger, or going to get an added bonus. Wow, that's incredible. Alright, you get muted with the preemptive GG emote. This thing gets to attack twice because it's a scout, and they gave a quick attack this turn. So we are probably dead, but it's still rude.
Come on, Rib.
Spark knows the way.
They won't like this.
Hand to the face.
And here we see the rarely seen pit. She's super cute. Yeah!
Eat up, friend.
It's opponent specific, Blue Man.
Reconsider.
The emotes are a lot of fun. I don't usually mute people. Only if they're rude.
Press on.
Hits power! Anything helps. Vroom, vroom.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
So I'm gonna have 4 mana left here. I could play Messenger, play this. I could also just get the 4/1 though. That lets me bank a spell mana, so I could try and level this next turn. But silencing really accomplishes much here. I guess silencing the witch off the elusives.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
I think I like silencing this. Howdy, Dova. As a permanent silence.
The moon approaches her zenith. May her silver light and
So this stops Lulu from killing us.
It's pigs!
Probably dead here. This makes a help picks every turn, which gives something a barrier or vulnerable. So they can give this vulnerable to hit me with Lulu, and they can support Lulu over.
Get him, pigs!
Yeah, we played someone asked about Leon and Yasuo. We definitely played that. If you're new to the channel, pretty much everything I stream ends up on my website, my YouTube channel, and they all get cut up by deck, so it's easy to find the parts that you care about.
All the colors.
Let me lead.
Feel the sizzle! Aha!
What's the mystery card, chat?
Was thinking more pew-pewing.
The mystery card always gets us.
Hardly fair.
So they think they can kill Jinx. They're banking on this getting bigger and being able to kill Jinx.
Fear not death. You leave me no recourse.
We are doing it! Everyone goes boom!
Okay.
We will be free.
Idiots!
They could have just killed us. How? Can you explain? You mean by opening on attacks? Again, you're saying open on attacks like you know what cards are in her hand. They don't know what cards are in her hand. It's very easy to be like, hey, you should open on attacks when you, like, don't know what we're doing. Or, like, when you know what's up. Let's start here.
Hex makes perfect.
I actually think this is a mistake on their part. I think they're supposed to barrier one of their X1s so they don't lose it to the death rocket. Yes, this is the person who GG does.
Run! Screaming helps not at all.
Okay, alright. Give me a couple of good ones here.
Hex power!
That's a real. Those are. God, those are incredible. Holy crap.
Oh, dizzy.
This has been a great game of Runeterra. He said for the 10th time today.
Unseen, unheard.
It's Hex! Where is it?
So anyways, we started blasted.
We blew them all!
That was a good one. Don't use your Shens early, chat. Sometimes there's karma. They jinxed it. There's the real MVP comment right there. Kalista Elise. So, I kind of think I'm gonna mulligan. Maybe I keep this. I keep the enabler with that. That's probably the case.
We were peaceful once. It's our time.
Yes, yeah, very likely tempo endure on the opponent's part.
I pull the strings.
I think I'm just Mystic shotting their 1-1 here. Elise gets to attack. Developing Elise is actually like really bad for us because the 1-1 spiders are good blockers. She's fearsome, so I can't block at the moment. I feel like I need to interact with their board, so I'm gonna Priestess here as opposed to getting aggressive. This might be wrong.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
Look at that. Look at that gorgeous card. Think we might be dying, chat. There is a small chance we might be dying. Okay, so I get to put this here and this here. I take 4.
You cannot hold us down.
Take 3, and then we can Meteor Shower for 1.
So young.
Think I'm just banking Spell Mana this turn. The Shadows stalk, chat. Okay, so 2 of their cards are ephemerals. Man, this card's kind of gross with They Who Endure, huh? That seems like a really great upgrade to their deck. Just like, have They Who Endure to fireball people with effectively. Yeah, Stalking Shadows is like really quality card for sure.
Mother Moon there
Yeah, it's good with Mistwraiths too.
for truth.
I think I'm ditching Suit Up here.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
We're gonna silence this. That's also very good with Stalking Shadows.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Unseen, unheard.
That's close. Maybe I'm supposed to just kill this with Get Excited.
I'm innocent.
Fear not death.
Oh, you're interesting.
This is gonna level now? Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, we're super dead. I think I could have killed this with Get Excited, but I think they had enough tools there. Like they had another keeper or whatever. Nah, I actually really like Runeterra's limited mode Red Link. If you wanted to add that just like any other deck and wait for it to get to the top, that would be fine. How's this deck been so far? Our deck's actually been really sweet. Diana, I think Diana, I feel like after today's set, we played a Diana deck before this one too. I feel like she's become my favorite set 3 champion. I played her in a ton of, we played her with like Nocturne, Leona, Jinx, and she's just been like excellent with everything so far. Yeah, I think that's definitely true, Blue Man. Our deck's power level is definitely different when we don't have Jinx. In fact, I'm gonna full mulligan looking for Jinx here. Nope. Pre-lists that are older cards are perfectly fine. In fact, I definitely think there's value. There's value in seeing how those older lists with some small upgrades play out against these target decks. I think the person that submitted this deck originally, Uncle Funkle, started with my Freljord Jinx deck, which was only playing Jinx so you could entreat to always get Jinx. But when you drop entreat, there's not really a reason to not play another champion. I think that was likely why their submission looked like that. Oh, Diana underperformed for you. Okay. Diana's been okay. I feel like there's got to be a second champion to include in here, even if you're down on Diana.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
I don't know. I feel like even when you don't level her, she's pretty okay, and she basically gives you more copies of Pale Moon, which is also great.
Find your own light within the dark.
Pale Moon is such a good piece of combat trick.
Face your heretic. Have faith.
No, I've been pretty happy with Diana in this set. Like, just doing stuff like she did there is perfectly fine, I think.
I know these paths well.
Huh? I think we just like charge her, and then we go like charge her this, open attacks.
Come, a new phase awaits.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkly
Maybe
guy.
Charger's wrong because they're on Shadow Isles. If I get like Vile Feasted here or the Nightfall deal one, I'm really sad.
From our foes.
Yeah, maybe I think this might have been wrong because they're Shadow Isles. Shadow Isles has 2 different Drain 1 spells. So again, if I start the turn by attacking, my opponent does not get a chance to develop their board before blockers here. That block is great for us. It means they don't have a deal 1, and our gamble pays off a little bit. I still think my choice was probably wrong if they don't have it, but it'll be nice to not get punished for making a bad decision.
My patience wanes.
Yeah, I agree with that, King Kong. I think King Kong Donk, Twitch usernames. I think a lot of people like expect her to do more because she's a champion, when in reality, like, she's a 2-drop. So like the bar of what she needs to do is much lower.
The mountain speaks to those who listen. poison.
I love P&Z aggro chat. Aggro decks with Mystic Shots and Get Exciteds are lovely. So if they can beat Get Excited, we can still Lunari Priestess. Give him the clap, chat. Get him.
The words of the heretic rang true.
Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 do, 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 do. Fi Trundle, eh? I think I just full mulligan looking for Jinx. Like, this hand's not super exciting. I was thinking about keeping Zaunite plus Chompers, but I think the upside of having a Jinx in our opener is just real high. This hand's great, too. Hey, congrats, Tim. I think the aggro decks in Historic are still super reasonable. Been happy with them still. Has leveling Jinx been hard? No, not at all, Mecha. Do I open on attacks? Probably.
Rise.
I'm just gonna bank Spell Mana this turn. Yeah, let's Sonate.
The sub rock got me good.
Oh, it's the present icon. It means you've gifted subs on the channel in the last 30 days, Maka. It's a little aggressive. Might be wrong. Triggers Nightfall for her, and it like cantrips to save one of my things. I'm burning value on the Jury Rig, which like feels bad when I peel a Rummage.
No more hiding.
They're at 4 mana, which means they can play out a decent sized blocker here, which I'd prefer to dodge. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna pass here. Just burn some of their mana, move on through.
King of Trolls coming through.
We got 5 points of reach in our hand, and there's 2 elusives now.
Bow to your king.
I think we go elusive, elusive, open attacks next turn. Got her, she's dead.
Sisters, unseen, unheard. For truth.
So if they eat a 2-1 and take 5 here, they go to 10. We've got them at a virtual 5.
You got a problem?
So this has regeneration, so it recovers that damage, but this is the damage that we care about. They are notably not Targans, so we don't have to worry about them gaining life, really, which is nice. Honestly, I think I'm holding these, so that way I could, like, bin them to Rummage. Do I just do that here? Do I bin them to Rummage and just, like, keep the burn? I feel like that's not crazy.
Darkness hides in my path.
So Vi hooks a 2-3 here. That's all of a sudden Vi has turned herself into some symbols. It must mean she's just obscene. I think I take the unit here. Like, taking the stun is appealing, but the problem with taking the stun is I can't open attacks next turn. So I think I just go to 4 here, play this out, and then I get to open on attacks, and then hopefully we just burn them out. Because they're going to take 4. God, we're going to be 1 point short.
Whatever the cost.
They look angry.
Really surprised they don't have a burn spell here. So I assume they're going to open attacks next turn, so we're just like hoping to peel, get excited, or Mystic Shot. Jeremy says...
This is gonna be fun.
That's great. Da-da! Kind of, not really. They did it! They did it! Da-da! There aren't any Targon cards I'm missing that help us get Jinx more consistently, right? I don't think there are. Suit up's been a little whatever. That's true, actually. So Sultari Priestess technically gets written in stars. That can help you find it. Okay, sure. Yeah, I was thinking I wanted her anyways, because she's just a good card. But yeah, that's technically true, right? With Spacey, Sketcher, and Zonite Urchin, and Rummage, I kind of feel like I'm struggling to... I feel like I have too many cheap discarders. Yeah, honestly, it might just be Trim Diana. I think you're right. I feel like it's either one of these or this. It's probably just this, right? Yeah, I feel like Mentor of the Stones just doesn't quite fit in, and I feel like I prefer these 3 drops. Maybe we just pull off of... Can we look at all the champions? What are all the champions in these regions? Like, are any of these other champions better than Diana? Not really. Yeah, I guess I understand why you were just on Jinx, huh? Like, none of these really fit well. Yeah, she's fine in some. Maybe you just play a couple of her. I could see that. I was kind of thinking, like, I like the idea of... Mentor of Stones. I think this card's really powerful, but I feel like if I was going to fit this card in, I have to give up a Priestess, but if I give up Lenari Priestess, I'm really just never leveling Diana. And maybe that's fine. Maybe we play her and just never level her, just like, or at least never level her consistently. Is that unreasonable? I feel like we should try that. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, that's a good observation. We're not looking to mid-range, so let's try Mentor Stones. Let's try Mentor Stones and Sultari Priestess. Yeah, Lenari Priestess is just, oh, you're starting Lenari. Sultari Priestess is just a good card. It can help us find Jinx on occasion, so I want to give her a go. Misfortune, Twisted Fate, Gangplank. Gosh, I think I'm actually just going to keep all these. Having Get Excited against Twisted Fate, Misfortune sounds good. This enables this. This is just a generically good card. What other reach can we be playing, Alluring Bug? Can you be specific? Like, we have Mystic Shot and Get Excited. What's the third piece of reach I'm forgetting? Like, we have the bases covered.
Her flowers bring the moonlight with them. Mother Moon, very.
Like, we're not in Noxious.
I deal in coins and carnage. For truth.
I think I want to run this into here. Yeah, Static Shock is like technically reach, but I agree that it doesn't fit. Just like we drew it up.
Time to make some coin.
For those of you at home taking notes, by the way, it is always appropriate to respond to any emote with the Lulu Juice Box emote. It's a little bit overpowered as far as emotes go because it's always the correct one to use, but
Rules are made to be broken, like buildings. Her people.
I'm leading on Jinx here, so if they make it rain, they're less likely to hit my Shadestalker. We do, but I feel like that's not very good. You know what could be okay, and it's not like traditional reach, but it's like mostly reach? We could play the 6-drop Nightfall card that gives itself and something elusive if you Nightfall. I think that card's super playable.
Never lost a fair game. Something for all of you.
That's brutal. Twisted Fate's a huge punish there for not opening on attacks.
Not my first gunfight.
Scale of 1 to 10. Where's this Jinx at?
them good. Bask in her radiant blessing.
Let's see if they also have the Make It Rain. They might also have the Make It Rain. I took the Traveler on the Invoke there because I feel like we've unsuccessfully aggroed our opponent out of this game. So I'm taking cards like this to maybe be able to go longer. Is the hope. Glass half full. They didn't have Make It Rain. All right, there's the Written in Stars. That's pretty good with another Jinx.
Never forget.
That's why we respect you, Captain.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
Wow, they did have to make a raid. Okay.
Ever the cost. You got legs. Use them.
I'm gonna gut you.
Are they scared of Get Excited, is the question.
Clear off.
I didn't attack with these, which implies I could have Get Excited.
Everyone's a guardian.
Yeah, the next one looks good to sort until I've hit it a couple of times on the ladder and it seems sweet every time. This Twisted Fate is like leveling up. I think I'm just taking this.
See who I truly am.
Their bones a splinter.
I get to hook my 2 3-power things. And their 2 5-power things have Overwhelm. Are we attacking with Twisted Fate? What does that imply? It implies they just want to push damage because they know I'm dead.
Hides no
They're like, do this. There's no reason to chump these. I guess I can gain 2.
bird.
She's probably not doing anything more useful than gaining 2. Sure, into gain 2. Yeah, the deal 1 is a good call on the Twisted Fate attack, but I feel like I'm kind of pot committed there.
Cold and unforgiving as moonlight. Cannot turn back. I will be heard.
Oh, so we're like hoping they don't have a pick a card here. They have 4 cards in hand. They do only have 2 Twisted Fates, unless they're like playing pick a card. We could maybe be okay.
Another
let's try one more here.
The Lunari will
Our-
not live in fear.
Our Solari Priestess definitely not looking impressive after that one, right? Felt a little bit clunky. Of course, they also, like, blunted our early pressure pretty well, so I feel like if it even had been something else, we probably wouldn't have been in a good spot. Let's see how she feels against something more aggressive. Hey, no worries, Live Devil. Thanks for turning the stream off when we paired. Good luck in the rest of your laddering today. This is fine, right? I could use my Dusk Petal to
We were peaceful.
get excited something. I would like to block. Okay.
It's our time.
I would like my 2 free points of damage.
Off we go! Roll out!
We just kill the witch. Burn the witch. Mystic shot the witch.
My shield is yours.
That's pretty good. I'm on a Zonite Urchin here.
The sun rock got me good.
We will be free. Unseen, unheard.
And we'll get to see Mentor of the Stones with Lunari Shadestalker here is nice.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Break their spirits and their souls.
So this is a permanent +2/+2.
This will not take long.
Card just seems good with Shadestalker in general. Gives you gems. The gems give you a permanent +1 attack too as well, which is great.
One balance.
Okay, there's a Shen.
Night flowers upon my blade.
I find them.
Protect and strike.
Are we going to hook these dorks with these? Are they trying to, like, hold them for better value?
You cannot hold us down.
Yep. Card don't shoot. Thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Gems cannot be played inside of combat or in response to things, but they are bursts, so I can play them there before I enter attacks without passing priority, which is great.
With me.
I think I'm just playing this out as a blocker.
Cold and unforgiving as moonlight.
My strength is yours.
That is mildly terrifying.
The sun rock got me good.
Okay, that's a good draw. So I can I'm hoping to fade Ranger's Resolve here.
I'm sorry.
You want me to burn their dome? Why? I guess. I don't know, like, we're at 20. I feel like we're not in that bad of a spot here, right? So I think I just, like, what am I gemming? I'm gemming something so I can level Jinx in combat. So, like, who am I gemming? I think I'm gemming a 1-power thing.
Whoa, you gotta focus.
Run them through.
I did burn the 6/6 twice to save the elusive with that a consideration. No, I didn't want their challenge. They would have had their other thing would have survived, and they have another attack step silence. Is the thing you're missing?
Look, whoa, friends. I'm innocent. I'm on a roll.
It might be wrong to kill their thing here. Maybe I'm supposed to start facing them at this point.
Everyone goes boom.
Yeah, that was a scout attack initially, so I wanted to try and, like, get out of that turn with my Jinx, basically.
Now it's a party.
Here's some awkwardness with this. That being said, unless they draw exactly single combat here, they probably can't kill Jinx, so I think I lead on this.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
And then... Oh, I needed spell mana. Shit, yeah. That's super awkward. Yeah, this is we're seeing some of the awkwardness of this card with Jinx, right?
Screaming helps not at all.
Immediately.
Major Ranger's Resolve. Fuck, yeah, I shouldn't have attacked with this. That was really bad. Yeah, they're a barrier deck. I should not have attacked with Jinx.
Smell that? A fight to cooking.
This card was super awkward. Like, if I generate a rocket there, they just, like, lose the game on the spot, right?
Feel the sizzle. Eat up, friend.
The balance has been maintained.
Yeah, if I took the meteor shower, I wouldn't have had enough mana to use the rocket. For people talking about that.
Heretic.
We might still win this.
Sisters. Have faith.
We might still have this because of these.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Okay, go to 10.
A morsel of regret.
It must be done.
It was my heart that led me here.
Yeah, if you imagine if I, like, had a Jinx and they were plus a riposte here, it'd probably be... Did you know, chat, that being lucky is frequently better than being good? For those at home who are unaware, being lucky is frequently better than being good.
We blew them all up.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough. Like the invokers were awkward there for some reasons, but they also, like, were just powerful enough to, like, drag us kicking and screaming across the pitch. Like, I think without the Jinx draw there, we're probably still ahead, right? Like, I think just, like, our average draws from that point put us ahead. Yeah. Like, Jinx was obviously a huge over-the-top find, but I think our average draw is still very good. I'm gonna mulligan these, looking for an enabler for Shadestalker. Alright, we're on the draw here. Jury Rig is technically an enabler, right? We can bank a spell mana and then go Rig into this.
Darkness hides in my path. Forgive me.
I don't think I want to block here. I think I just trade these off. Yes, yeah, exactly, TDM. I mean, Jinx, like, already kind of struggles to be playable a little bit. I don't think she'd be playable at all if you couldn't do that with her. Honestly, I think I just want to chunk a monk. It's like one fat boy here, please.
Whatever the cost.
I think I do this and keep my Shadestalker alive. If you kill the keg before their spell resolves, they don't deal extra.
Glory, courage, excuses for war.
Block.
We are at war. Witness strength. Fall to me.
Is this such a blowout? feels good, man. Sure. That means they're not. That means they're not doing that to this though.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Deal me in. Who says I don't share?
My spirit shines. Clear off.
Mentor of Stones feeds Rummage and Get Excited really nicely.
All or nothing.
Alright, so I think we're just killing Twisted Fate here. There's definitely a concern about letting my health total get too low. Their deck tends to be controlling, but like Swain and Leviathan let them close pretty quickly, so I don't think I want to take too many extra hits if I can avoid it. We're gonna bank 2 spell mana and then go up to 8, so we'll have 10 total mana next turn. Looks like Magic mixed with Hearthstone. In all honesty, it takes the best parts of those games and like throws away the nonsense bunch of Garrett. Just genuinely the best core gameplay of anything I've ever experienced. So I can use the gem here, and it's burst, so that doesn't pass priority. I can play Mentor of Stones, and then I can double Get Excited to level the Jinx. That's 10 mana, right? 1, 3, 3, 3.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
After the battle,
So this level's Swain. So these are both Jinx, so I get to redeploy a Jinx here.
Like buildings. Or people.
Like buildings, all people. So the question is, can they kill this Jinx as well here? I get to Rummage to level her up, and then if they don't stun her or kill her, I can attack and support +2/+2 on here, and she'll get 1/1 from leveling, so she'll be a 7/6 quick attack when she attacks, which means she can attack into Swain.
I'll give you to the count of spikes up.
Now, unfortunately, she's no longer going to be able to attack. I'm going to get a gem here, but I can only play one because I'm down to 1 mana. Oh, and she's also stunned, right? Let's heal her. Well, I guess if they have another Swain here, she dies, and then I lose the game. So we need to avoid another Raven's Flock. Ravenous Flock. Okay, sick. Okay.
witness strength.
Do scuttlers make me walk sideways?
I think I'm supposed to do this and go to 4. Probably dead here.
I will break them.
Yeah, and then you see the way our mana lines up here. We just don't. We don't have enough. Like I can empty my hand here for Jinx's trigger, but then I'm out of mana to cast the Death Rocket, so I can't rocket them this turn.
Prepare the cargo! There is no excess when victory is at stake.
All right, so thoughts on what this deck was doing. 1, I love Jinx. She continues to be one of my favorite champions. 2, though, I felt like this deck had a lot of the same problems that the non-Entreat Jinx decks have had that I've played in the past, which is that, like, you do this setup work to build your deck in a way to get your hand empty with Jinx, and there just isn't another, when you don't have Jinx, you're cycling through your hand and getting it empty, and just don't, like, you're all dressed up with nowhere to go, basically. So when you don't have a lot of virtual copies of Jinx, you spin your tires and do some stuff and blow your load, and then you don't have anything powerful to do with it at the end, which is awkward. So I do think that Mentor of the Stones and Soltari Priest. I think these are worse than the other cards that we were playing before. Both of these cards made it awkward to consistently get our hand empty. While they were kind of nice when we didn't have Jinx, because they're okay powerful cards, especially Priestess, I think when we did have Jinx, they were awkward enough that they probably weren't worth playing. That being said, I feel like my conclusion after playing that entire set is I'd prefer the Entreat build that we worked on before. So for people that haven't seen this, we played this before the last set. It plays Entreat here with Jinx as the only champion. So that way you basically have 6 virtual copies of Jinx. So you find your key card that your deck is built around a little bit more consistently because you have this card to find her. All right, we had a very generous donation from Dude Light to run the stream a little bit longer today, so I need to run to the restroom really quick. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll. While I do that, when we get back in just a couple of minutes, we're going to play a set with some Lee Sin Tarek. So thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.